Let's take a look at some of those nutrients. I'm sure you all have looked at food labels that you see in a grocery store or at home. Well, you can learn a lot from these food labels if you know what to look for. A few years ago, the Food and Drug Administration decided that people need to know what they're buying. So these labels were designed to offer us important information on what we eat. You don't need to know what everything means on the label. There's some things you can look for in order to help you make healthier choices. Okay, let's take a look at this food label. Okay, the first thing that you should look at on a label is the serving sizes. It tells you the serving size and how many servings you can get out of a product. You'll also see the term calorie. Now, the scientific explanation for a calorie is a measurement that expresses heat-producing or energy-producing value in a food when it oxidizes in the body. So what do you guys think about that?
Well, can you say that in English, please?
Well, I get that reaction a lot. Okay, well, you've heard people say, I've got to burn some calories, right? Well, these food labels tell you how many calories are in the food, and when you exercise on a regular basis, you can burn off some of the calories so you can maintain your correct weight. Now, does that make sense?
Oh yeah, your body heats up when you exercise and that burns off calories.
Good. When you digest food, there's certain organs and chemicals in the body that turn the food into energy. The food starts out in the esophagus on its way to your stomach. The stomach is a temporary storage organ for large quantities of food. Its three main compartments are called the fundus, the body, and the pylorus. The stomach is also an important site for mechanical and chemical breakdowns of food. Digestive juices are secreted from the glands covering the entire stomach wall. When food is present, approximately every 20 seconds, mixing waves combine the food with gastric juices to form chyme, a creamy, semi-fluid mass. This is gradually emptied into the small intestine through a narrowed region surrounded by a thick ring of muscle at the lower end of the stomach, the pyloric sphincter. Liquids empty from the stomach faster than solids, taking about 20 minutes. A mixed meal takes about 1.5 hours to be emptied. There are many other pieces to the digestive system, like the small and large intestine, as well as the pancreas, the liver, and the colon. All of these play a part in digesting your food, but it's the liver that plays a vital role in processing nutrients. The liver is the body's largest organ, weighing about 1.5 kilograms, or 2.5% of your body weight. Other functions involve the uptake of nutrients and other substances from the intestine, processing or metabolizing, storing or distributing these to blood and bile. The liver is the powerhouse of the body. So, is all this starting to make sense to you guys?
Well, that's a lot to know.
Yeah, it is.
How does this have anything to do with nutrition?
Well, let's take a look at the food label. There are many people who count calories, but there are several other things that you need to consider for a healthy diet. You also want to look at things like total fat, cholesterol, sodium, which is also another word for salt, sugars, and proteins. It also gives you your daily value percentages for each category and a percentage of the recommended daily vitamins.
You know what, guys? I think I'm gonna lift some weights.
You can't lift weights.
Sure I can.
Okay, if you can, then how much can you bench press?
I don't know, 5, maybe 600 pounds.
Really? I have to see this.
So do I.
Yeah, I can't even get it off the bar.
600 pounds. Yeah, that's right.
Just a second.
Can't stand it.
That's not even 100 pounds. So, how long have you been lifting weights?
I just didn't get a chance to warm up, that's all.
Right.
Hey, Edward, what you doing here, man?
Oh, me and my friends come here to work out since my mom works at the UT Wellness Center.
Oh, okay. Well, what's your friend's name?
Well, this is Laura, Tasha, and Chris. We go to school
How you
together.
doing? Hey, my name is Dr. Ron Peters. I'm at the Health Science Center. Edward and I are friends and neighbors, and sometimes his mom and I work together at the center. So, Chris, how long you been lifting weights, big boy?
Since today.
Really?
Well, I haven't worked with weights much, but I have been on one of those before.
The treadmill. Hey, let's go over there then.
Okay.
has one of these in the garage, but it's collecting dust.
Really? Hey, that happens to a lot of people. They get excited about everything, and then boom, they just never go with it.
How come?
I don't know, they have good intentions, but just sometimes they just don't do it.
Yeah, my dad used it for a while, then the next thing you know, it's in the garage. I laid my bike on it.
Lay your bike on it, huh?
Yeah, that happens a lot. Actually, this is good for your heart.
Your heart? You mean your legs?
Well, actually, it's good for your legs, but it's even better for your heart. This is what you call aerobic exercise. What you were doing over there, Chris, is called anaerobic exercise.
In a what?
Anaerobic exercise. There's a big difference between aerobic and anaerobic exercise. And aerobic exercise is better for your heart.
Maybe you can tell us more about it. We're learning about health and medicine in school right now.
And we're going to the medical museum next week.
Next week? Well, there's a lot of great things you can learn at that museum. But you know what? Let's learn a couple of things right now about these particular two types of exercise.
Okay, cool.
Okay. This is a heart monitor. It shows you how fast your heart is beating. Edward. Now I'm putting it on Edward. I'll put it around. There you go. And then what we do is we put on this watch. And let's see, he's ticking. His heart is beating, isn't it?
At least he's alive.
He's alive. Let's go ahead and go to this treadmill now. And Ed, we'll see how fast your heart is beating when you're exercising. Is his heart still beating?
It's at 109.
It's going faster.
Okay, we'll get back to him in a minute. While Edward is doing this little experiment for us, let's talk about the benefits of exercising. Besides controlling your weight, physical activity can reduce your risk for several diseases such as heart disease, high blood pressure, obesity, and diabetes. What also happens, and it's something that you usually don't hear, is exercising makes you feel good not only physically, but also mentally.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It could put you in a better mood, you could be less stressful, and hey, it'll keep the blues away. Look at Edward.
Less stress? Really?
Yeah.
Hey, absolutely. You know what? I love to exercise, and you can too. Any amount of exercise is better than none at all. Okay, now let's talk about the different forms of exercise. You have anaerobic exercise, and then you have aerobic exercise. Aerobic exercise is what Edward was doing. It's different types of aerobic exercise, running, jogging, and then you know what? You got swimming too. Hey, Edward, you getting tired yet?
Nope.
Come on, man, you tired, aren't you? Go ahead. He's tired. Okay, guys, you get an idea what aerobic exercise is?
Yeah, it's anything continuous or repetitive.
Oh, man, you got it. The best results is when you do aerobic exercise for about 30 minutes a day, 3 to 4 times a week. Aerobic exercise also improves your lung capacity and joint flexibility. Now, anaerobic exercise is a little different because it's short term, not long term. And it's for building muscle rather than, there you go, than also burning oxygen, which is what Edward is doing, long term.
Do you think he's tired yet?
Nah, he's not
Yeah,
tired.
no.
You think so?
Yeah.
Some anaerobic exercises are weightlifting, push-ups, sit-ups, and things that you do short range that build muscles. Now let's talk about how much exercise you should be doing. But first, you need to understand your target heart rate zone. Your target heart rate zone is 50 to 75% of your maximum heart rate, or the fastest your heart can beat. Now let's look at a chart that tells us the people's heart rate zones based on their age. Okay guys, can you tell me where Edward would fit on this chart?
I think right here.
Right here.
You know what? Laura is right over here. This is
His
where
heart
he would
beating
fit.
that fast?
Hey, let's look at his heart rate. 140.
Wow.
Whoa.
Pretty fast, huh?
Tired?
Take a break now.
Okay, are you tired now? Now you're gonna make me tired.
Edward was right on target. But you know what? We used a heart monitor with Edward. We can also do the same thing by just using a watch with a second hand. Does anybody have a watch with a second hand?
I do.
Great. We took it before with a heart monitor. Now we're going to do it by hand. What I'd like for you to do is basically tell me when to start, and at 15 seconds, let me know when the time is up.
Go.
Do 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 do.
Stop.
I counted 30 beats in 15 seconds. Now, there's 60 seconds in a minute, so that's times 4. 30 times 4 is what?
120.
Great. So you were 120 per minute, beats per minute. Now, let's go to the chart, and we'll show you exactly how this is calculated. For some people that are in good shape, like Edward, your heart rate may be beating a little slower than your target rate, which means that you need to pick up the pace or exercise a little longer. Stretching and strengthening exercises such as weight training should also be a part of your physical activity program. These exercises strengthen your muscles and bones and help prevent injuries. Does anybody have any questions?
What if you haven't been exercising enough?
Well, if you haven't been exercising a whole lot, one of the things that I would suggest is to go see a doctor first, just to see where your health is at. But a quick test that you can take on your own is called a BMI.
What's that?
The BMI is your body mass index, and it's a quick check that you can see where you're at with your health.
Thanks, Dr. Peters. I never knew all that.
So it's more than just running around.
That's right, Edward, and you do it for life.
To keep a strong heart.
And to stay in shape.
Hey, you kids are doing fine. Now let's exercise.
Hi, my name is Jill Egan. I'm the middle child of 3 children of Jim and June Egan. I was born and raised in Springfield, Illinois. My interest in food and nutrition began at an early age. I always loved cooking and baking with my mom or my siblings. My mom is a nurse and taught us about being healthy. In high school, I explored many areas of science, including anatomy, biology, and chemistry, and I love them all. I also enjoyed my cooking and nutrition classes, so I decided to combine all of these interests and study to be a dietitian. I attended Southern Illinois University in Carbondale, Illinois, and I majored in food and nutrition with a specialization in dietetics. I enjoyed all aspects of college life, and I was involved in many activities. My senior year, I was voted president of Student Dietetic Association at my university. After college, I began a dietetic internship and graduate degree program at the University of Texas Houston Health Science Center. During my internship, I was able to work in many different areas of dietetics. Some of my experiences included working at MD Anderson Cancer Center, working at the Houston Food Bank, and working for a school district helping to plan healthy school meals. I was even able to meet the mayor of Houston. In 2 years, I completed the program and received my master's degree in public health with an emphasis in health education, and after passing an exam, I became a registered dietitian. I now work for the School of Public Health on a program called CATCH. CATCH is a coordinated school health program which teaches kids in elementary schools how to improve their diet and increase physical activity. My job involves traveling throughout Texas to train schools. It is fun to work with different people all the time and to spread the message about healthy eating. Being a dietitian combines everything I love, including science, nutrition, teaching, and of course, food.
Hello, my name is Ron Peters, and I was born in Queens, New York. My parents are Hannah Peters and Ronald Joseph Peters Sr. I went to high school at Hillcrest High School in Queens. Growing up in Queens was great and at the same time difficult. It was great because I had the opportunity to be around a diverse group of people, but also it was hard because growing up I had to witness certain things that kids shouldn't have to deal with, such things as violence, STDs, drugs. All of these things were big problems in my community. I went to college at Virginia Commonwealth University, and then I went to the University of Texas School of Public Health for my doctorate. Once I finished my doctorate, I was prepared to go out and try to change behaviors because the things that I learned growing up, seeing these particular problems, I knew how to address them a lot better. What I do as a professor at the School of Public Health is I work with kids mostly, like you, to change different behaviors that may be problematic. Anything from dealing with HIV to violence to